started, there's some things I would really want to look for, and one is I'd want to make sure I have my charging cable, my stabilizer cables, my hand controller, and of course all my equipment, which would entail the 5 carabiners, the 5 harnesses, and your 5 helmets. When you're getting your gear out in the morning, some things you want to take and really think about is look at your gear, look at your harnesses themselves, and the things you want to check on a harness is actually where the belay point is, or where this red stripe is. And if you just think red stripe, check it, make sure that it's all in good shape. There's no fraying, there's nothing coming off of it, especially no stitching coming out. You really want to take a look at that. The other thing is on the leg loops where the clips go in, ensure the clips are working in a smooth manner. You'll notice they only go in one way. There's a place in the back, so they only take and go in one way. These are 3,500 pound clips. Each side is a 3,500 pound clip, and these clips are the same clips you'd find on your parachutes. So very, very safe. They'll take and handle all the weight you can take and put on them. Each of our harnesses is sewn to a manufactured spec, which in the United States tells us, ANSI says we have to have it sewn to a body weight of 250 pounds. So that's where we're going to take and sit on our weight limit, is 250. These will go up to about a 40-inch waist, which is a pretty good size for most young people. So if they're too big to go in, probably shouldn't climb, and if they're too little to go in, probably shouldn't climb. But that's what we want to take a look at. Always look at the stitching. You'll notice we take and do what we call double box, which is a double square, and it's the same you'll take and find on all harnesses all around the world. But we're sewn right here in the U.S. It's a good thing. Helmets. You want to take a look at your helmets, and every once in a while you want to take and check your helmets. And the reason we're using helmets here is because when a student comes down the wall, they really have the inclination to take and come down, land their feet, and go backwards. And if they lose their control, they'll go backwards and sometimes hit the back of their head. So a rock helmet is going to be important. Now, the way you test a helmet is a simple squeeze front and back. And if you take and do that and you see a crack up here, of course, you need to be replacing it. The other thing is once they take and become very, very scratched, deeply scratched, we'll want to replace them also. So that's something we want to take a look at. These helmets all have a quick adjust in the back, so they can adjust to different head sizes. And of course the inside is pretty well self-explanatory with a simple clip underneath the chin. Should be put on, should be worn all the time, keep our young people safe. It's just a really good thing. So checking our harnesses, checking our helmets. Carabiners are going to be a 3-position heavy load carabiner. And when I say 3-position, what I mean is it takes 3 actual movements. This one you actually have to push forward, twist, and pull back. 3 distinct movements. And when you hear it slam shut, you hear it, see it, feel it. So there's 3 ways to check it. And we'll go more of that when we take and put the wall up. But I would look at this and make sure it hasn't been overly damaged in any way, that it's working in a proper sequence, and it works smoothly. That's a big thing to take and check. So checking our equipment, making sure we have it all before we take and start anywhere else is very, very important. The other thing I want to make sure you have is your controller. Without your controller, your wall does not go up. So you want to make sure it's in proper order. You'll notice on the controller there's a ridge, and when we take and put this together, you'll take and find the ridge has to take and go in the correct way. Putting in and taking out, you always want to use the finger tabs so you don't take and ruin this. If you take and pull it on the cord, it's just like that extension cord at home, you will take and ruin the head. So always use the finger tabs, and we'll take and talk more about that when it gets over there. The other thing on the hand controller is it's pretty simple. Push the button up and the wall will go up. Pull the button down, the wall will come down. So it's pretty simple in there. But again, this is one of your tools, so you want to make sure you take care of it. Once the wall goes up, this needs to be removed and put away. So we've got everything we've got. These are our stabilizer cables. And our stabilizer cables do just pretty much one thing. Here in Texas, you have sometimes winds come up in a very quick manner. And because this is 24 feet tall, 8 feet wide, we could take and have a possible sail condition. And that means really that the whole thing gets filled with a billow of air and would take and move the unit. What we're trying to take and create with the stabilizer units is so that the wind wouldn't come up and actually twist the whole unit in a left to right manner. If it was to do that, it would take and ruin the hydraulics and you wouldn't be able to put the wall down. So there you're in a pretty bad situation.